My mum's lamb shanks are a very impressive set and forget meal that will delight your guests or your partner. In fact, I have the cutest story about why I chose to put this meal in the book. Every time my mum would make it for my dad, she would text me and say, "I made the best lamb shanks for your dad tonight." And then the next morning, my dad would text me and say, "Mum made the best lamb shanks for dinner last night." So I knew the Skinnies community had to have it. We use the Thermomix for this slow cooker recipe, a bit like a sous chef. I don't like cutting up onions, for example, so I chuck them in the Thermomix and let the Thermomix do the work for me. And now we're going to add our capsicum. We've just got some large pieces. They cook right down when they're in the sauce. And a bit of olive oil. And we're going to saute that off with some salt. Now we're moving our sauteed onions and capsicums to our slow cooker. Now, if you don't have a slow cooker, you can use an oven-proof baking dish as well. We're also going to add our carrots and celery into the bottom of the slow cooker. We've cut them into pretty large chunks, and I've peeled my carrots, but you can leave them unpeeled if you like that texture. You can see the size of the celery. So they go into. And then I am going to arrange my lamb shanks on top. Now, I've got 4 beautiful lamb shanks here, but if you are only feeding a couple of you can do 2 lamb shanks. And you can actually go all the way up to 6 lamb shanks, depending on the size of your slow cooker. And if you are reducing down the number of lamb shanks to 2, any leftover sauce you've got makes the most delicious pasta sauce the next day. So you actually get 2 meals in one. And now I am going to use my Thermomix again as my sous chef and make my beautiful sauce that goes on the top of the lamb shanks with some chicken stock concentrate, a big bottle of passata. I like the brand Mutti, it just has the best flavour. Of course, you can use whatever brand you like, but if you are using a cheaper brand, I would recommend adding a teaspoon of sugar in as well. And now at this point, there's a little trick that I'd like to show off. Don't just chuck out your bottle of passata. At this point, you want to add your wine or your water, but I actually weigh it into the bottle so that I can shake it up and get all of the extra passata out of the jar. Now, we're using wine today, but if you're not a drinker or you're worried about serving this to kids, you can use water, of course. It is so yummy with water. Don't feel like you're going to miss out if you are using water. And that's going to go straight into my Thermomix bowl as well. And see that? All that yummy passata is not going down the drain. And now we have some herbs and some pepper. And I'm going to give that a quick mix up. Now that beautiful sauce gets poured over the lamb shanks. And then we turn our lamb shanks on to cook on low for 8 to 10 hours, depending on the size of the shanks and also how many shanks you have. And that's pretty much it. At this point in the cook, if you think that you'd like a bit of a thicker sauce, you can stir through some corn flour as an extra step and let it cook for another 15 minutes, and then it's perfect to serve.